don't want you to go changing, 'cause girl, you're just so comfortable. Girl, you're just so comfortable. Girl, you're just so comfortable. I hope that you just feel it all too. 'Cause girl, you're comfortable, let's go. Feel so good just when I roll through. And I just think it's so crazy what you do to me. Girl, you're the baddest thing, you know that. And I really need you to show it. So turn around, let me get you on the cold air. Girl, you're just so comfortable. 'Cause girl, you're just so. Girl, I love a situation. We don't spend time hesitating. And I wouldn't say we're crazy in love. I would just say we're crazy enough. 'Cause girl, you're just so comfortable. Girl, you're just so comfortable. Girl, you're just so comfortable. I hope that you just feel it all too. 'Cause girl, you're comfortable, let's go. Feel so good just when I roll through. And I just think it's so crazy what you do to me. Girl, you're the baddest thing, you know that. And I really need you to show it. So turn around, let me get you on the cold air. Girl, you're just so comfortable. 'Cause girl, you're just so. We ain't gotta slow it down. Jeans on when we hit the town. We don't really care who's around. But baby, I'm with you if you gon' be down. 'Cause girl, you're just so comfortable. Girl, you're just so comfortable. Girl, you're just so comfortable. I hope that you just feel it all too. You're just so comfortable. 'Cause girl, you're comfortable. It's just feel so good just when I roll through. And I just think it's so crazy what you do to me. Girl, you're the baddest thing, you know that. It's true. And I really need you to show it. So turn around, let me get you on the cold air. I don't know what you do. Yeah. Let me get you on the cold air.
Good evening, everybody. Hope you're enjoying your game night here in the Tranquility community. I am Mr. Yeti. Welcome to Wednesday, everybody. We got an exciting Transcendence tier feature match coming your way tonight between Heatwave and One Last Freak. It's going to be a very, very good one. Both teams coming off of strong week ones. Deathnot, why don't you start us off? Tell us a little bit about Heatwave.
So Heatwave's pretty interesting because they were originally prodigious in season 5, kind of when like the prodigious kind of fell apart and then kind of built back up, and but they folded and they joined a new org named Ignition now, and they formed the team Heatwave. So the team's got really good outlook on this season. They're vying for the championship this time. And they're looking pretty strong after their 4-0 against Ace Advantage last week.
Great 4-0 to kick off the season for Heatwave, no question about it. Triage, though, you have an opponent who might have a few words to say about that. One Last Freak. Tell us a little bit about this squad.
All right, One Last Freak. Not a lot exists about them for you to find since they're all new to the Tranquility community. They were originally named Freaks and Beaks. The core of this team has been together for about 3 years. When they got together, they started out as a high plat team, and through sheer determination and hard work, they have grinded their way through the ranks and become a Masters team. They took a short break before coming into Tranquility, so they have a little bit of rust to knock off at the start of the season. But I feel like the synergy between the 3 remaining core players of the team is going to be enough to carry them through as they adjust and work with the new players.
Death Knot. Let's go back to Heatwave here for just a minute. Talk about some of these players. Who's the MVP? Who stands out as that one player to beat on the Heatwave team?
So if we were talking most valuable beard, I've been told that Manbro Dude has a fabulous and beautiful beard. I wasn't told to say that. I just chose to. But no, MVP. So we're talking their main tank, Grant. The team behind him believes that he could be one of the best main tanks that Trank has ever seen. And you know, we'll see. That's you know, asking for a lot, but hey, you know, this guy controls his aggression. He's aggressive when he needs to be, and he's really good at controlling the pace of the game. So it looks like he's going to be their biggest asset going forward.
Definitely a big amount of hype coming from his team. A bold statement to say, and we'll see if that main tank can show his face tonight. Triage, what about One Last Freak? Who's the MVP on that team?
I was initially torn on this one between Pavel and Beak here. I've decided to give it to Pavel, who is the only Rolock player on the team, Rolock for DPS at 3,900. From what I got talking to Beak earlier today, Pavel is just an incredible all-around flex god in his own terms. And he has a lot of experience playing at a higher rank. So I feel like he's going to bring that knowledge he has of playing in higher tiers up in GM, and he's really going to bring that to the team and help them carry through to victory and get over anything they come across.
Right. Let's talk about some of the workhorses. Death Knight, what about Heatwave?
Yeah, so when we're talking workhorse, we've got their hit scan player Boom Boom. The big thing about Boom Boom, you know, I mean, his name is it's not just Boom Boom. It's like a billion O's in each boom. So that's like the big thing about Boom Boom. But he keeps the mental for the team high, like throughout every match. And he was actually the guy after the team folded. He was a big factor in wanting to keep the team together and finding a new org where they can you know, find a new home. So yeah, Boom Boom, workhorse.
All right. What about you, Triage, for One Last Freak?
I'm kind of going to cheat here, and I'm going with both of their support players. I'm going to give it to Sinine and Connor. They're the only 2 support players on the team. They're having maximum playtime for a reason, and it's because Beak has so much faith in their abilities to just carry the team through any mistakes that they make. So according to the team themselves, Beak said that Sinine is a flex support that is the most dependable player he has ever seen play Overwatch. And when you have that much faith in your support player, it instills confidence in the rest of your team that they can also rely on this player who may or may not get the praise that they deserve in the community. And I just feel like the supports are always the unsung hero.
Supports really are the unsung hero. Who's an underrated player on each? That's not who you got.
I mean, you know, supports being underrated. It's a theme that probably just transcends across most teams. And that's no different with Heatwave and Extra Sharp, their main support. You know, his SR is a little bit lower than everybody else, might be a little bit of an anchor, but you know, he puts his heart and soul in every match that's coming from his team. And you know, he's always positive, keeping everybody's head in the game. You know, we'll be looking for him to really kind of pop off in the shadows, you know, as the main support.
Triage, what about you for One Last Freak?
My underrated player for One Last Freak is actually going to be their captain. So I'm going a little weird on this one. It's Dumpster Fire. Dumpster Fire is locked in for the SR at the minimum for Transcendence tier. If you look at the SR, it's easy to look at the lowest SR player playing in the highest tier we have and just feeling like they don't belong and they're not going to be able to play here and they just can't compete. But after speaking with the GM, I was informed that Dumpster Fire is their captain for a very good reason. He keeps them all in line, and his comms are just, according to Beak, impeccable. I'm not really sure that's the term you would usually use to describe how somebody makes calls in a game.
That's fair. That's fair.
But it sounded fantastic, so I figured I'd bring it up. Dumpster Fire, only being 3,300 playing in Transcendence here, has a lot to show and a lot to put up with this season. But they're here to just show that they belong. TRSR be damned.
Exciting match to come for sure here. Let's get to the predictions. Death Knot, who do you got?
So, after interviewing Manbro Dude, GM for Heatwave, kind of learning some more about the players and realizing that, they were, a lot of them former prodigious players. I used to play with those guys a lot back in, last season in Discord tier, and got to know a lot of them, and they were really, really good. Um, and looking at their performance from last week, and the after interviewing them and seeing the hunger that they have for this season, to really kind of get their new name out there, I'm going 4-0. I'm going 4-0 Heatwave. I think they want it bad. I think they trust each other a lot, and I think they're going to roll through this whole pool that they're in.
Triage, what about you? Who do you got?
Well, I'm going to
okay, getting the first pick. Oh, get 3, Pyro, get 3 with the...
Void Kid putting on a clinic. Whole team's down. Oh!
Experience tranquility.
Good evening, everybody. I am Time Monster, joined here tonight by Gizmo Charmander. Tonight, we have a matchup between Heatwave and One Last Freak. Both of these teams are up 1-0 so far in Tranquility, one of which had a much more dominant win last time they played against who their opponents were. How do you feel about this match coming into it, Gizmo?
Well, both these teams are new to Trank, although I do know a few of them have been in and out of Trank. So this is where they're going to show their meta today. And speaking of metas, we still don't really know that, so don't ask me what you're going to get here. But I think it's going to be a great match. And honestly, I think with the numbers the way they've been, last night's Harmony tier modified versus I want to say it was not Fire Force, but reminds me of Fire Force. I think we hit 100 firefight. Thank you. Got it to 130 views. So awesome job, guys, with that. Really appreciate it. And this is round 2 for us too on this 9:30 stream. So hopefully that still continues to work out. But yeah, what do you think is going to happen tonight, Ty?
Well, considering the fact that One Last Freak, long-standing core, it says over in our sheets over here on the side, they've been together for, I think it was 3 years now, which is a really long time for teams to be, playing together, getting used to each other. Heatwave, much more recent, not sure when exactly they were made, but definitely not 3 years. It's so rare in Overwatch nowadays. I don't think there's a single Overwatch League team or even Overwatch Contenders team left that's 3 years old, except for maybe the old British Hurricane core that moved over to the London Spitfire. So that's extremely rare, and we're going to have to see how well that synergy props them up, even though they had a much tighter game last time.
Yeah. So, and of course, we already know what the first map is. So I think that whole situation's awesome. Being on Nepal first. Do you think, what kind of comps do you think we want to see here?
The meta trickle-down effect that has kind of been showing off to be a competition between two competitions right now, from what I've seen and heard at the top level of scrims. Not necessarily top level, but, the 4K-ish range that I've seen and heard. It's mostly Double Bubble versus the Ball Dive. It's mostly those two. Zarya is kind of the off-tank of choice, so that's what I'm expecting to see right now. Hoping that we're going to see a little bit of Reinhardt, because as you all know, I love that hero. Just watching him, playing him. Winston also, I really love to watch, but more so in that classic dive composition rather than how Double Bubble plays. So it's going to be really interesting to see what these teams opt for. Are they going to go with the proven standard of the Winston Zarya or the Ball Zarya, or even Ball Diva maybe? Are they going to go for something a little bit wacky and off meta, like maybe they go Hog main tank some reason? Maybe they go for Winston Diva. I'm really excited to see what they pull out.
All right. And our first map, of course, is Nepal, as we all love and know. One of those beautiful King of the Hill maps. I'm hoping we get to see a little Lucio action if we do make it to Sanctum, because I do love watching him boop.
Mm-hmm.
And, obviously that ball will roll in. And what, we've seen from the past few weeks from these trans-tier teams is the ball play has definitely been strong. So it definitely looks like a lot of teams have been trying to prove that play. And also, as most people know, these maps are kind of strong for Reinhardt, who really hasn't been favored too much. So we might get to see a little of him. I doubt we'll see too much double shield on this map.
It's a very strong poke meta right now, and it looks like it's not going to change too much here. Briggs and Ball Zarya on both sides, very similar, but we're going to see the Sombra on one side, Symmetra most likely going to be switched over to either a Reaper or a Tracer out of the spawn. And then on the other side, we see a Tracer McCree, which is really interesting because both of which are pretty decent DPS. So we're going to have to see how that kind of works out here.
Yeah, I think we will see Boom switch over to the Tracer to run that Sombra Tracer meta that was so popular during the preseason tournament.
Yeah, I definitely. And there it is. Yep. So the only thing differentiating these two compositions right now is that McCree versus Sombra. We're going to have to see how that battle works out here. A little bit of a high ground control early from Beak there.
Yeah, and not to mention, too, you got to think about the Sombra play into the ball as well.
Ooh, that's a big bash onto Grant, and that's going to be Chari Boy finding the first, or Beatus, sorry, not Boy, finding the first elimination, but Senin and Pavel will not want to lose this fight already, and Senin finding his second kill this fight. Looks like they're going to find the first capture.
Yeah. That early pick on the McCree was definitely huge because you take away the main stun to prevent Grant just from rolling in, but that huge slam got so much damage, and yet they weren't able to get enough picks and end up falling short in the fight.
Yeah, and I do want to mention real quick, even though, you know, it's the winning team, they're obviously going to get more ult charge, blah, blah, blah. Pavel almost already has this pulse bomb, winning the Tracer duel down here as well, and Boom only about halfway there, so we're going to have to see if this pulse bomb makes much of a difference in the next fight.
Yeah.
Poke coming on to Beak. A little bit of pressure, a little bit low. The slam coming in from Grant. The bubble a little bit better time here. He's going to get a little bit of protection, but he's cleared out. But there's Coloro and Man finding the next two eliminations here. And that's a one clip almost onto Boom. Tracer falls, but it's still so scrappy. 3v4 right now. The hack onto the Wrecking Ball is going to maybe finish this fight out. But a Pulse Bomb invested onto the Zarya that might bring it back. But that's it. The catch will be coming in from Heatwave.
Yeah, and actually, what an amazing play off by Heatwave. They now have both their EMP and their Pulse Bomb too. Pavel got a nice little pulse stick, but unfortunately, due to the support just getting down, it was just a matter of time before him and the Zarya were just destroyed.
Yeah, like, as you already said, it's a pretty big ult advantage here. That's the Transcendence EMP! 6 players immediately found in the Pulse Bomb just to cap it off. Boom is right. 2 players destroyed with that. And now they're coming into this next fight with 2 ults and a pause.
Oh, someone DC.
It was the partner DPS for Pavel there. Who was it again? They were
Trying to remember.
I think they even had High Noon. That's brutal.
Yeah, but I mean, talk about a huge play. You normally don't see AMP used with another DPS ult unless it's something like High Noon or Death Blossom. To combine it with not only the Pulse Bomb, but it was an amazing pile driver by the Hammond right there. Just instantly deleting not only the Zen, but caught another one. And then Boom just coming in with a nice little cleanup with a 3K with a double pulse and taking out Connor on the brig.
Yeah, and coming into this next fight, we're going to see both Transcendences available. No rallies here yet. Connor's the closest one at 85%, but Chubzilla has been charging it a little bit slow, only at the 56%. They didn't already use one, did they? Am I just going crazy?
No, they didn't. They were taken out very early in the first fight. And this comp, unfortunately, for Brigida, because they're not running into against the Sombra and the Tracer, there's less dive, so there's less pressure on Chabela, which is probably what's been the difference, where Connor's had to constantly been swinging away, trying to, spy check for Cherbs and, trying to fight off Boom as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is a very fair point. And I would also like to mention, as one brig heals more, the enemy team Zarya is going to be damaging less, apparently, with 69% nice from Man here. And then worst Overwatch player has their Grav available for the next fight, which is a huge advantage of 30%.
Yeah, and not to mention the trans was not used for that EMP, so they do have trans on both teams, in fact. So even though worst player has that Grav up for available in this coming up fight, Colorado is going to easily be able to wipe it out, and there's no EMP to worry about as well. So that's going to be another thing to think about when you're playing the McCree versus the Sombra in this comp.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, they're losing out on the High Noon here, which is going to be really brutal for them to come into this next fight and try to find some value. Like, they're only coming in with that Grav, granted, it's a Grav, and the Transcendence. They should be able to farm up a rally and Minefield during the fight, but against the defending team's Minefield and Transcendence, it's going to be a bit of a bumpy road.
Yeah. And guys, just remember the weather has been a little crazy out there too, so make sure you're trying to prepare yourself for it as well. Because I'm reading chat while Booth. He's making some great puns. I'm not going to repeat right now, but yeah, it's definitely something to think about, especially if you know you're in one of those areas where power's been going out a lot. And just think about the future matches to come, because it's really on you guys. It's not on any of the directors or anything for you guys to reschedule your matches, so that way everyone's fine. It's tough. It's tough luck, but hey, we were waiting for a ringer at the beginning too, so the world goes around.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate time that we're in right now with COVID, and then apparently the Great Freeze coming in from up north.
Jack Ross.
Global
Hey,
warming's
hey
been-
Booth, why don't you go ahead and put us to a break while we're waiting?
Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah, let's just go into a break. We'll be back with you when
Google.
our 12th player in the lobby is back and ready.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
There they are.
Yep.
after as soon as we went to break, they come back and it was Pichu, and
They just repaused.
I think they paused for us because Booth was trying to say, "Hey, we need 10 seconds to get stuff settled," but that's all right. It's not perfect. But after that huge play, now Old Economy's still looking good on both sides. Like you said, you do have the rally coming on the side of One Last Freak. So they'll have both support ults to kind of fight out the grab that Man is not yet grasped yet, but is very close to getting.
Yeah, like, I'm surprised how much Man managed to charge up onto this next grab in the time that we were talking about. Already up 12% just from the time that we unpaused, and they're just kind of waiting for that hack, and there's the grab. Lines too, no translocator gonna be able to be used by Char, and that's gonna be Pichu with the first pick on the boom, but it's not gonna be, you know, as much of an advantage as you might want. With Chari finding the next pick, Pichu gets, if he's gonna get his whatever, moving on, peak with a pile drive kill. That's mostly just gonna be cleanup here for One Last Freak, as Heatwave trying to pull it back a little bit with boom, but not gonna be enough.
Yeah, great engaged by One Last Freak. They committed both tank ults, and you know, Chubchilla still does not have that rally online yet, but they did get the trans out, so now all they have to do is hopefully just survive the attack with the rally going in. Boom coming up on another pulse as well, and if they can find the same kind of luck as they did before, then this fight is definitely going to go to
it's been some great distraction there from Grant. That's a good Graviton search with the Transcendence in there. Discord gonna help melt that Zarya down. No surviving that with the visibility onto Char. He's gonna try and get out. Looks like it'll work out. And this is gonna be the, what, 4th or 5th recapture on this map, unless Beck can, or B can help bring it back a little bit, but it's not gonna be enough, as that's just gonna be a little bit of a pop-off there at the end from Chubzilla. Finds Pavel, and the show must go on.
Now we have at least one more good team fight coming left. We only have an EMP on the side of Heatwave, which is going to be very huge. If they can pull off that pile driver combo again with it, they won't have to worry about sitting with the trance either, trying to stop it. So it should be a free pick on the Zenyatta at least.
And almost as critically, Colorio has just finished farming up this Transcendence. That's going to be the EMP. 3 players only found, and that's going to be worst player. Actually finds the Sober immediately out of the EMP. Almost does nothing. High Noon helps zone them out. Doesn't find any eliminations, but it bought them enough space. Beak already popped the adaptive shield. Got a ton of HP. That's a nice repair pack from Koner. But he's going to fall to Man as Pavel finds Boom. Wins the 1v1 back over there. They're just trying to vie for a little bit of space here. The Doom is back from Chari. He's going to try and find some value. That's another kill from Pavel. The Graviton searches out as well. Another one from worst player there. This gonna find a couple of kills himself. Now it's just the Zenyatta there. The recapture will be here, and that looks like it'll be the round.
Yeah, what a huge play by One Last Freaks. They weren't. They didn't even allow the DC to really affect them there. They were able to build that McCree ult back up. Even if it didn't get the value of taking a pick, it did force trans. It did zone them out, and it was able to free up that grab from Worst Player, which got the value they needed, being able to take out the Brigitte. So coming on Sanctum now, we're going to see that Lucio swap and a Warrior swap. Ooh. So we got a little bit of that double bubble dive coming in from the side of Heatwave.
They're gonna go for Goth Goats, I think, here. With the Zarya instead of the Diva. If Boom switches onto, although I think it's very viable that if he switches onto the Tracer, I think he might go Reaper.
Yeah, just maybe.
Oh, but on the other side,
oh, that hog is looking mighty lacrosse player.
there is a beefy boy on the other side as well as Mr. Legs.
Oh my, Booth, we have guys, we have officially had Ball Hog Torture and Pichu takes out Boom.
Soldier and Hog and Ball Torture played in the same map is not something I expected to see anytime soon, but already they're making my dreams come true. They're gonna get early point control thanks to just one simple pick onto a Tracer.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. There might be some comp switch up because this is not a fun comp to go into dive with.
Again! How do you do it, Pichu? Immediately finds the Tracer again. Sorry to interrupt you there.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You know, so there's going to be a lot of poke damaging coming from the side of One Last Freak, and I think this surprising comp that not only had our producer Booth saying, what the heck? And us just obviously fumbling over our words. The side of Heatwave does not seem like they know what to do against it.
Yeah, Pichu's pumping out a ton of value just between his general offensive pressure and the fact that Boom has not been able to play the game yet. Chari has actually gotten the first DPS ult in the lobby with the EMP available. Boom only had 50% on the pulse bomb until just now. Recall forced by the McCree. Hack try to go onto the ball. Beak not gonna be able to do much. There's the EMP, it's coming out! 5 players affected by it. Pichu's the only one not hit by it, but they're still pulling it back. 2 players down, the Coalescence bested, but it might not be enough behind him. Off to the side, he's gonna find Colorado. With the bully red down, just 1 player left, and they will fall. A little bit of percent, but a small thing in the grand scheme of things. That's going to be a little bit of a touch from Chari. Not going to accomplish.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate fight for the side of Heatwave. They popped the Coalescence and the EMP, which did allow them to C9 the cap, the point, just for 15 seconds. But they finally decided to switch off that more and go over to the Ana, maybe to hopefully help counter not only the ball, but the Roadhog as well, that just seems to be constantly bullying the dive from happening.
Yeah, let me remind you, they won that fight off of 1 ultimate. Now they've got the tactical advisor to try and find some value, but a clutch sleep from the Ana. Gonna shut it down. They're gonna get the repositioning that they needed. That's a hook onto man. He's not gonna be able to play the game right now, as there's the minefield out as well. They managed to recap again, but it's not gonna matter a whole lot, although it will start stacking up.
Yeah, and they still have the whole hog and the Zenyatta ult. Unfortunately, though, you did lose Winston Rampage on the side of Heatwave, but I think the shutdown on that tag advisor really made that fight seem more like it was worth it. Boom switching over to Reaper now just to try to help do the damage to that Roadhog. Hopefully Charbirds can find that hack on either him or the ball, and they can make it a 5v6 a lot quicker.
That's a good hook. Gonna bring them in a big HP advantage early. That's gonna be the first kill there from the McCree. But Boom, they're trying to bring it back. It's a 4v4 right now. The Graviton Surge might be what they need in order to bring it in. But there's the Helix Rocket! The Soldier finds the Zarya. The win condition out of the fight. They might even be able to touch. They can't!
Wow. Oh, Zenyatta go off of the map. I love it. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I think we finally just witnessed one of our very first Ball Hog Torture Season 6 of Trank. And I must say, though, Pichu getting that display of the game definitely says that. I think he's definitely the MVP of this map. Not only was he the one to DC, or excuse me, I think it's she. She was the one to DC, but coming back and getting their ult, being able to zone, and just constantly being able to torture that Tracer and force him to switch over to the Reaper along with their Hog. Huge plays by him.
If Pichu is Tina, then yes, Pichu is a she, but if not, then Pichu is a he. I'm not even going to bother thinking about it because it's just going to make my brain hurt. Pichu. We're just gonna go with one, the other, or
our
dumb.
brain is so fried just from watching the ball hog soldier torture coming out. Like, I honestly, Trank, there should definitely be a poll saying, were you expecting that? No, because we definitely.
I mean,
no one was expecting it, but I'm just saying, you know.
I mean, I think what's more unexpected is the fact that Soldier was played. How often do you see that hero anymore?
Well, in my Diamond and Master games, I see him way too much, and I don't know why. I don't know why, but yeah. But it definitely wasn't. It's definitely interesting going the double hit scan. Sanctum is a great map for hit scan players because you do have that off angles you can grab and the covers as well. And I don't think that map was a good representation for Heatwave because they just ran against a comp that no one was expecting. So I mean, you're literally just dumbfounded the whole time, and by the time you realize what you need to switch, it's too late. And I think that's what caught them off guard. So what a great strategy done by One Last Freak there.
Yeah, there are 3 heroes who I say I want to see every single time I cast: Lucio, Reinhardt, and Soldier. We're 33% the way there, and we got the hardest one out of the way. So,
actually, no, we're 66% because there was a Lucio as well.
Oh,
yeah. So the only one that's left is
just the Reinhardt's left. That's a little sad, actually, that Reinhardt is the one that we're waiting on. You know,
and honestly, it's usually a Reinhardt map too. So.
So hopefully they pick King's Row or whatever.
No King's Row.
No Kings. No, don't break my heart like that.
Don't pick King's Row, man. I do that all the time. As Captain Jack would tell you, Scrims Row is just too much. So when a team, and honestly, like I've been telling everybody, you don't want to pick King's Row. You might want to pick that Icon Wall or the Hollywood because those are maps that probably a lot of teams don't practice because everyone's expecting King's Row.
That's fair, but Ike still is good for Reinhardt, especially on that 3rd point.
But I don't think we'll be seeing that Ball and Hog torture coming on our next map. Rolling over to Hanamura, one of the best 2 CP maps in my opinion. Although I'm like NPC, I don't hate 2 CP. I don't love it, but I don't hate it.
I actually am somebody who kind of enjoys 2 CP personally, particularly the thing that I find is the hottest stake in my opinions. I like HLC. I think it's a very fun map to play. I think there's a lot of intricate strategies where you have to hold so far away from the objective to where if they get there, you need a strategy as to how you're going to contest. Meanwhile, with other 2 CP maps, you just kind of walk to the objective.
Now, there has been a Gizmo curse on the 2 CP maps so far in Season 6. Luckily, it's with Discord, so hopefully Trans won't continue the pattern, but it's been a draw every cast I have done. But like I said, it's always been a Discord tier game, so maybe Trans can break that curse. But guys, do remember, if someone is able to get a tie on either a payload map or during the payload part of a hybrid map, I will donate $10 to Frank. So, but we're not going to worry about that right now because right now it is Hanamura. We are seeing the Symmetra come out. What a normal play you can see on both sides.
There he is, my big beefy boy. He's in the lobby. Reinhardt, it makes it 3 for 3.
It only took 3 maps.
It only took 2 maps.
Well, I'm saying like because you got the individual maps on the ball.
I guess.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah. So and we have Boom on the far. I don't know if maybe they're going to try to kill themselves. No, they switched to the McCree. I was like, are they going to try to do a little trickery map? But running the sim strat on both sides is very interesting. I wonder how it's going to work against the Reinhardt shield for Heatwave.
There's an interesting pick on the defense as well. Peach is on.
Booth, I'm so sorry.
On the sim. So it's going to be interesting to see how that works out. Great power drive, but he's going to get punished. A lot of damage, and he's going to fall. Immediately, the opportunity is open. Tari can set up the TP onto the objective. They're going to steam on forward. The anti-nade lands on Grant, but the bubble's there to cleanse. With the McCree here, they got a little bit more poke than they would on a hero like May or Reaper. They're going to get the fire strike kill onto Connor. They have the objective control. Now it's just about time.
Yeah, I think running the ball instead of the Reinhardt was probably not the strongest play. B does come back for that contest. And I'm going to go ahead and apologize for our swap on the teams. They probably didn't know they weren't supposed to. So, Booth, I hope you fixed it by now. Which threw me off, too, because I said Heatwave's going to struggle when it was not Heatwave.
So, they switch over to the Doomfist on the defense. Did you notice that?
Yeah, well, you gotta think maybe getting those early picks, but still you're running into that McCree as well.
Yeah, the sim TP, in my opinion, should never work for you second point. It never has for me, and it never will for a team who are not objectively just the better team. They're up a little bit right now. They get a couple of kills, but due to just how 2CPU works, they're not going to be winning this fight. No chance whatsoever.
Yeah, the second TP isn't really about winning the point. It's more of just trying to, you know, build up that ult charge for the next initial fight, because you know that you're probably going to switch off that Symmetra, which we do see Char go over to McCree to probably try to counter that Doomfist as well.
Onto the Ash.
But sometimes you gotta keep your cards straight, because sometimes you might be able to catch the other team off guard. Because I mean, most of the time, yes, you do see a team, especially on Hanamura, go to that left side, but they may have just gone main and go up from the top.
Yeah, I'm guessing they switch. Oh, okay. That's Pavel down. Not sure what he was doing. Most likely just playing RuneScape on his phone.
You might have a DC coming up. I just had
That is an aggressive pin. Bring the Spirit of Ray into our game. Grant sets up his team for the 4K.
Well, it looks like Pavel is back on their computer, so that's the good news here. But
the damage orb.
It's just going to be stalled, trying to knock down as much as possible with all the ults that are coming up for the side of Heatwave.
That's a good grab, though. It's going to try and buy them some time. Sound Barrier is going to be there just to keep them alive. No chance that anybody are going to be dying for the time being. And a 429 time bank. That is daunting.
Well, you know what? That may be quote-unquote daunting, but at the same time, people, this is 2 CP map. It's not necessarily about your first push, it's about your OT push. Like I said, Giz has had a curse lately with these kind of maps. So, actually, you know what's funny? I have had a draw on Volskaya the first week. Last week, I had a draw on Temple of Anubis, so the only one left is Hanamura. Maybe the trifecta will end the curse.
Don't say that. Don't.
Third time's the charm, right?
Yep. That's.
Our producer's telling us we got work to do after this. Which he does, I know him. But I think now we're going to see the Reinhardt coming off from both sides. Yeah, I think One Last realized that running that ball was maybe not the best strategy, considering that they saw the sim coming out. But here's something we haven't seen yet tonight, which is the Echo coming out with no Mercy Pocket. Instead, you have the Ana and Brig.
Yeah, that's a really interesting support line. That's what you normally are seeing in double bubble played. So, going to be interesting to see how they play it out. Are they going to be playing, you know, that sort of aggressive Brigitte, how Jeffy Boy, Mr. Kaplan designed her to play? Or are they going to be playing a more reserve style?
No, we will see Pichu come out on that sim, hopefully trying to get the same strategy to work for them. They might not even go straight to point. They might just go straight on the top left. Or top right even.
Yeah, they're just going to do that. Going to buy them a little bit of space. No worries about any cooldowns, just destroying them in their rotation. Decent place to teleport, in my opinion. That's going to be, both Reinhardt's going pretty far forward. Beaks going to be the one who gets a lot of space for his team, though. Grant getting super hard punched. That's going to be Chubchilla being the first to fall, with Pavel setting those shotguns up the enemy team. Destroys quite a few. And only one pick for the defense. Obviously, I don't even have to say it. Won't be enough to hold.
Yeah. And see, here's also another thing you got to think about when you're running a map like Hanamura and you're going to do that sim strat. Don't always try to follow up the same way that the previous team did. Taking that high ground early, letting them set up, it really forced the play around that bell, which they were able to catch Chubchilla off guard and got that early pick, which initially gave them the win of that fight.
Well, they're going to be TPing. Where are they going to be sending it towards? We're just going to have to wait and see. Oh, they sent it up to the top left area. Yep, that's going to be the Zarya dropping only 37% to this next ultimate. As the Earthshatter drops, it's a pin onto the Moira. Going to help keep this defense alive, but that's Beak with a pin onto the enemy Reinhardt. It's a 3v2 right now. The attack might be able to get a tick or two. Might be able to prevent some ultimates coming online. There it is.
Yeah, and with 70% coming up on that Death Blossom and the grab, it's just going to try to be doing that damage, try to get the stall out while the supports are coming back.
Yeah, that's going to be Grant immediately falls, takes too much damage to bear, and with Chari finding 2 eliminations, they're going to actually invest the sim wall, switch off after this anyways. why not? That's the Baby Diva falling, but that's something you might not have even wanted on the attack here. Trying to keep it on Baby Corp, but they might still try and bring it back with Pichu finding 2. It's going to be great with a Nano Boost invested. They're investing quite a few ultimates on the defense here.
Yeah, well, I think they were struggling because there was 71% capture. They were able to get 2 ticks, and honestly, if they didn't force some deaths to happen, they could have ended up losing the point. And I think there's going to be some strong switch-ups from the defense coming up now, as we see Boom switching over to the Hanzo now that the stall is over and doesn't have to stay on that Tracer.
Yeah, it's actually an interesting few swaps in my opinion. The Baptiste and the Reinhardt, really interesting here. I think I would have preferred the ball maybe, just to prevent them from actually getting through these chokes a little bit harder.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they're going to be investing into this one right here. That's a nice first pick from Boom. Hanzo already paying dividends. The Brig, a little bit isolated. They're going to try and punish it. Grant goes in a little bit far, but they're just going to be playing a little bit slow. Never mind. He immediately starts to W it. That's the Brig falling. He has the Earth Shatter available. Will he want to use it? Probably not.
Oh, and you gotta love to hear that train engine just roll through the map. Thank you, Blizzard, for making a and that just says, "Hey, Reinhardt, hit shift. We know you want to." But you know, running that ball wouldn't be a bad idea. But you do gotta remember that you do have Pichu on that McCree, and you do have Pavel on that Reaper. If the ball's not careful running through that map, they might get stuck and be an early pick. You just can't afford that, especially when all there needs to be is a 1-2.
That's fair enough. He's popping the rally right now. The slam drops. Only the break falls. It's a nice bubble onto him just to keep him alive. That's the Death Blossom popping. Not going to do a whole lot. Pichu will find the first kill into the attack. That's a slam from the Echo to the gate. That's a big one. 2 on the ground, but they're not going to be able to do a whole lot with it. They're going to try and find some value here. Although it is 2 CP attack, or 2 CP defense, I should say. They're going to maybe get some respawns in. Pichu in the death position on the high ground decides to drop, try and get a little closer for some easier shots. That's a nice shot onto the Moira. They're not going to be able to touch.
Yeah. And so, honestly, like I said, you know, they were able to, because they used all those ults and made the switches they needed to, they were able to get more time on that bank. But, ladies and gentlemen, like we know, 2 CP is not a matter of that first push. It is definitely about the OT push to see which team has some more drive. And most of the time, what you see is the team with the less time has a stronger drive because they don't have to relax. They can't relax. They got to put their foot on that gas pedal.
Yep, just as the Reinhardt skin entails, you gotta just go. Just chugga, choo choo. No?
And on that note,
No,
sorry.
Come on, I tried.
No, it was good. Sorry, you caught me in the middle of a drink and I wasn't trying to spill it on my mic.
Sure. Just say that to me.
But anyways, the conductor has left the train engine, so it is all right because we will see that nice Reinhardt. We do see the sim strat coming from both sides again. Seems like to be a fan favorite for these 2 teams. I'd take notes if I were a Trans tier team, just in case they go on Hanamura. But I think now that they have that Reinhardt on the defensive side, I think that's where the difference is going to make instead of running that ball. Ooh, Grant trying to get an early fire strike.
That is a free 32%. Excuse me, Grant. You gotta calm down a little bit, bud.
That is such a huge advantage right here. And here we go, seeing Pichu putting that TP on the top right once again.
Oh no, call her up. Check your corners a little bit there, my friend. That's gonna be Connor finding the first kill onto the enemy Brig. Wins the most important duel in the game. But that's gonna be a flash kick from Boom. Finds Pichu. A little bit of an off angle there from Pavel. Tries to find some value. Calerio not able to get any support right now because of the death of Chumchilla. This is just gonna be the skill orb that finds him. Pavel's gonna hold W a little bit, find the enemy Symmetra. That's just gonna be a little bit of time that they're wasting at this point. Not gonna be able to hold the first objective.
Yeah. I mean, just getting that early call pick, even with the trade-off, you got the stronger pick with that Brigitte going down. And Sinan honestly throwing that Coalescence just to make it an easier fight. Honestly, I have no problem with that kind of play because Symmetra does have one of the fastest ult builds. And when they're running this kind of brawl comp, it should be another Coalescence in a fight and a half, if that.
Yep, they're gonna be sending up the teleporter. And no!
Oh no! And with that little time bank they got from it, poor Connor. That's unfortunate. That's one thing you gotta think about too, people, when you're going through that TP. Getting blocked off. There's that time to, you know, actually get everyone through.
Yeah, they're on a bit of an island here. They're gonna manage to get out a little bit, but oh, that was nerve-wracking.
There we go. Now
There we go. Little safer that time.
Yeah, just make sure you give your teammates enough time to go through before you hop through.
This I like. I don't see teams do this very much, but I think this is what you have to do in the second point. Get a good TP location out on the left, and that's going to be a good setup for the High Noon to get one. Flashbang there, but it doesn't really matter too much for his own survivability, as the Shatter will find a lot of value. Anti-Net on the peak, that might be a blast drop. All takes on the ground, just Coalescence out as well. Said it's going to find a kill with that. They're going to get the first tick. No drawable if they lose this, but the Coalescence is going to find 3 kills.
And they have the wall and the grab to stop. Oh my goodness, what an amazing play by One Last Freak. And like I said, throwing that Moira ult did not matter. They were able to get it mid-fight, and that's what gave them the push for those ticks. And everyone was so caught up in that stairs, they were guaranteed to get those 2 ticks on the bottom. Now, I know you said that it's not possible for there to be a draw, but we do have 3 minutes and 18 seconds
I didn't think they would
for
cap.
Heatwave.
They
So
were down like 3 at that point. I think they would cap, and then they did.
I mean, you can still get a draw even when it doesn't cap.
Yeah, I mean you can, but like it's not gonna happen. Once you get that first,
it's gonna happen,
don't
dude.
cap it.
It's gonna happen because of the Gizmo curse. I'm telling you.
Don't please. This is the only time I've ever wanted a full hold, just so we don't get the draw.
Attackers incoming in
You think the genie came from there?
That's a tea kettle, but it's okay.
I mean, Aladdin 3. That's right.
No,
Aladdin 4. Return of a genie. It's Genie 2 in Aladdin 4. That's the leaked script.
Okay. I was just gonna say Beauty and the Beast left some trinkets around, but it's okay.
4,
You know how royalty has to be. They have to go visit each other.
1.
Yeah.
Attackers incoming.
Now we're going to see this coming out once again from the side of Heatwave. Let's see if they follow the same strat of going up top, or if they do what they did from the beginning and go straight to the point.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully they should change it up just a little bit. Looks like they want to TP onto the left. Oh no, you got to run there if you're the Ashe. It's going to be a nice dynamite onto Chari. He's going to take quite a bit of damage. Not going to find the kill or anything, but going to get some pressure down. They're going in for a little bit of a farther rotation than you might expect here.
Yeah, Bink once again has the upper advantage when it comes to that shatter coming up. But Grant with that early fire strike last round, you thought maybe Bink was. Oh, what a great
Oh my goodness gracious. That is a filthy dynamite. A dynamite guy, you might say. As that's just going to be the cleanup there. Unless Boom finds that shot onto Connor. That's going to be the push they need in order to bring it back. But that's going to be Pichu with the Centaurs. The defensive Symmetra showing off its value. They're going to try and just jolly for space a little bit here. And that's going to be a worse Overwatch player. He's going to start to hold W. He's at 93 charge. This man is unbeatable.
And we now have a grab online. And I'm just going to say this, worst Overwatch player, I really hate hearing your name and saying your name because I feel like we're trying to troll you and we're not.
Yeah, garbage player's gonna have his Graviton Surge available, like you said. And, oh, is that a Widowmaker?
Yeah, hopefully trying to find those early picks, maybe early fight. Especially with the Sonic Arrow, you have those walls up available every 12 seconds too, which will help against that Ashe.
Yeah, this is gonna be a little brutal. I can feel it. And, oh, there it is! Lines up the shot. First kill. And that's the Earth Shatter bringing forward to the ground.
Oh my goodness! Big representing the Philadelphia Fusion!
That's filthy! Oh my goodness!
But, you know, as great as that was, now you have to worry about the grab and the shatter coming out from the side of Heatwave as well.
I mean, they're going to start off a little bit well here. The Ashe isn't in that great position that they were. It's that nice pick that was found earlier. This could be the headshot! Oh, Chari! He's going to put another elimination! Sudden immediately taking out the Coalescence. The Dynamite's out, not going to find a ton of value. Dragon Strike's right there. Just going to split them up a little bit. And it's going to find Connor! Looks like this Widowmaker spot might have been what they needed, but that's the Bob on the side. Finds a bit of value. That's going to be the Zarya and the Hanzo doing a little bit of a duel. That's going to be the catcher finally coming in.
Maybe not, because you do have that TP, and Sinan is about to start countering.
Yeah, there's no Coalescence, no Fade, no nothing, no survival. Just a little bit of time.
And you also have that Graviton Surge for the side of Heatwave. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just saying. Curse.
Don't remind me.
I'm hoping the more I say it, the less it becomes true.
You know, I'm hoping that as well. So please just keep saying it or stop saying it. Those are your options. This is going to be a little bit brutal and precise. You know, just ends right as I say that. So, you know, thanks, Universe. That's going to be a good Graviton search, but the rally's going to be there to negate it a little bit. There's another rally for the defense that the slam drops despite a ton of value, but they don't need it. Pavel's going to be the only person on the attack to find a kill here, and now there's 26 seconds left.
Yeah, I think right here, ladies and gentlemen, this is where Giz was talking about, because now you have a shatter from Beak that can help stall as soon as oh no, gets taken out.
Yeah, they're just gonna try and bring themselves to this point, just trying to stall it out. That's a coalescence there from Colliero. Gonna find the Lucio, just try his very best to survive on the walls over there, but it's just gonna be too much to handle. Just the Tracer left now, the Monkey back in with the damage orb, Skiller tipping them down, and oh, please don't be a draw.
Yeah, please don't ban me from casting just because of this code.
Just seriously, who let him in the script papers again? Who let him in there?
Initiating match.
He wasn't supposed to be allowed in there. We changed the code 4 times. He keeps getting it right. Like,
that's
sure,
what. Yeah,
1111 was easy to guess. How'd you know 1 2 3 4?
Well, then I thought, well, if it's not 1 2 3 4, then it must be 1 3 6 4. And I know what you're thinking. Where did he come up with that random numbers? That's just how random Giz gets. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I was kicked out of Discord completely like 2 days ago and was panicking, so I was trying everything. That's how I found these codes, okay?
I mean,
you look hard enough, you can find anything.
The fourth one was Thomas Jefferson. I don't know how you managed that on a numpad.
Oh, it is what it is.
Aligning defense system.
Yeah, it looks like we're gonna see, you know, the Symmetra coming out on the defense again.
But we see that Widow that was honestly probably the push they needed from Cherrybirds.
Yeah.
Taking out Sinan once while his team got grab shattered, and then when Sinan came back and popped that coalescence, taking them out once again. Just huge plays by them.
Beak's just trying to scout out if they're going to be going for the sim strat. Doesn't see anything, reports that back to his team. Just going to go back a little bit, you know, play a little bit safer. This double sniper needs to find some value. Oh, that's the dynamite, but almost gets his head taken off for it.
Yeah, luckily that pick is probably a strong one, even with the spawns being so much closer because they had that TP to help get back. Honestly, good value by Pavel right there.
Yeah, they're just gonna, you know, just hold a little bit of space. That's gonna be the aggression. Not really a lot of energy here yet from worst Overwatch player. It's gonna be up quite a bit now that I say that, though. That's a lot of aggression coming in there, though, from Grant. Gonna push them back a little bit into the corner. Nano is available as well. Coalescence, though, on the other side. To try and negate some of this pressure that's being put on them. That's a pin from the other side. Beak is gonna fall. That's just too much so far from the attack. There's only 3 players left, but oh.
That would be the first point cap.
This might not be a draw. I say that now, but
don't stay behind it. Thank you.
What's a draw? I'm not an artist. I wouldn't know.
Could you imagine if we got 6-6?
That's something I don't want to think about. But what I do want to think about is how brutal these ult banks are. Seamless transition.
Yeah, you do have that coalescence coming from the side of Heatwave up, which will be a huge sustainable fight right here.
Oh, that's a save up. Doesn't find a whole lot of value, but that one does. 3 on the ground. They're gonna get this second objective.
Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, it's about the OT push.
It's always about the OT push, and we're at 6 holes.
By the way, if you hear something slam in the background, if one last freak gets the first point again, just know Giz went to go get some really hard alcohol. I'm just gonna drown my sorrows in whiskey if it goes into a draw.
Everybody in chat, take notes. This is how you do not defend Hanamuris. It's just to take the notes, write it down. This is great attacks, mind you, but the defense is not so much.
Hey, if I'm a trans tier team and I'm watching this and I'm in, I think it's Aurora B. Is that right?
Yeah.
Indigo B. I
Oh,
knew it
Indigo
was Summit B. Someone messed up the sheet. It had okay. Anyways, if I'm in Indigo B, I'm taking notes. Be strong on the defense when it comes to these two teams.
Defend well. They can't defend. GG easy.
And also take notes of Grant's fire strike because Good got ready to charge right off the bat.
Oh yeah, that was a big one. But coming in here, Chari been doing a lot of work on a lot of heroes. Put another one on the docket. He's on Echo.
5, 4, 3.
Yeah, we did see Chari go a little bit Echo on their first defensive push.
Defend objective A.
And considering we haven't seen a Widow, just the Ashe and the Kree coming out, Echo might actually be just as viable here as it would be on that Ashe.
Oh, they're going for a little bit of a different TP this time, straight to the objective. That's a support's isolated, but it's a nice flashbang as well. He can get quite a bit of damage early on. That's sorry, isolated! That's the first pick that they needed on the defense. It's gonna be a lot of damage onto Grant, but he's not gonna care. There's only 2 people left on the attack, but that's a nice couple of kills for the defense. They might be able to get it next fight.
Yeah, especially since there is no TP to help get those players back quick enough. But the spawn times that happen, and now you're gonna have to wait for the regroup of the team. If you don't press that W key, which you need to with how much time is left, we finally might not have a draw, ladies and gentlemen. Gives its curses broke.
I mean, you say that, but they're gonna get this nice little TP. Oh, they just didn't know where it was for a second there, and oh, that's gonna be slowing down the rotation quite a bit. Speak almost completely alone for the rest of the team. Rotates back with him. That's a big slam. 4 on the ground. Grant gonna shut this down. Does not want to draw. No, please. No, thank you. Get out of my house, son.
Thank you. The curse is broke, or it literally is just with Discord tier teams. We'll find out next week, ladies and gentlemen. Ah, God, what a amazing first half, 1-1.
Play of the game.
And both teams are showing awesome, strong offensive, and that would explain why on the first point of Nepal we just saw them flip it back and forth with 99 to 100. That grab though.
That's the bunk.
Oh, worst Overwatch player right there, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you get on Noob Hunter.
Just because you said it, we're not gonna know.
Epic.
That's how you get in there.
Job well done.
It's how you try. Just from a first person perspective, though.
But yeah, we saw. Honestly, I think tonight's match is probably one of the best ones we're going to see as far as it being pretty evenly matched. You got 1-1 on Nepal. It was 99 to 90 to 100 on first point. No, Sanctum was the second point. Sanctum unfortunately was I think a 0 to 1 or a 15 to 100.
Wasn't Sanctum the
But hey, we've seen these teams come back from losing a player and still pulling off a map win, and we just saw a team cap Hanamura 6 times or 6 points.
Three times.
3 times 6 points.
Don't put 6 times into.
I may have already hit that whiskey a little too early, but it's so we're going to go to halftime here, ladies and gentlemen, and when we get back, we'll see. Does Heatwave melt the competition down to their bones, or will one last feat ghoulishly steal it from them?
Welcome back, everybody. This series has been a banger so far. We are sitting at 1-1 right now. Fixed up my webcam, shouldn't be as blurry. Turns out it just had smudges on it. We're here to see if Freak will help sizzle out the heat wave or they'll just burn too bright.
Yeah, and well, I know y'all heard me say I didn't want this map at all because it's not like I cast it every single time. But
What are you talking
our
about?
hybrid map choice is the lovely Kings Row. And with the way these two teams are playing, it's not going to be a boring one for me. And I hope we see that. I hope we see that Widowmaker come out again. Because God, I see this map too much and not enough Widow people. Not enough. But yeah, do you expect we'll see the double bubble here, or do you think we're going to see that Ryan Zarya come from both teams and maybe some crazy sim strats?
Oh, these guys are in tune with their inner Cloudy. You know there's just going to be a ton of Reinhardt. Like if they switch off Reinhardt once for any hero, I'm going to be blown away.
Yeah, no, for facts. And like anyone who's ever heard me do a cast before, you know the one thing I like about Kings Row is that it is a map that literally is so versatile. You can play any comp in it. So as far as development goes, dev team, you did this one right. Now, if you could try to transfer that to your 2 CP so we don't have any more double OT and ties for Giz, that'd be great. But yeah, honestly though, if we do have a draw on this map, I hope it's after they've captured the point and gotten the payload so far. Because once again, I am going to donate to $50 to Trank if anyone during a live cast draws a hybrid map on the payload section or a payload map.
Right, you hear that? You hear that, guys? Don't touch it. Don't touch
But
it.
for Booth sanity, because he does have class in 9 hours, please get this game over.
Just don't touch the point. Just try the Simba strat, see how it works out, and have fun. That's what I'm saying.
We just confirmed. He says that happens. We're going to end on map 4, ladies and gentlemen. Just a heads up. Now,
halfway through it too. We're not even gonna. We gotta leave it on the cliffhanger.
I mean, we could still get a map 5. Definitely.
Yeah, it's just gonna be the cliffhanger though. Sorry.
But yeah, I definitely think we'll see that Ryan Zarya come out from both sides. We may even see a. I was gonna say, we'll see that Widow and Pichu this time on the Widowmaker.
That
might just be for scouting purposes, because they are on that attack first. Widow is just an amazing grappler.
Yeah, they're gonna go a little sneaky, which means we gotta talk quieter so that they don't hear us and we can maintain their stealth.
But right now you have Pavel actually doing the scouting up top. So as far as the other team knows, it's a Hanzo because you can clearly see them going up the wall.
I mean, you didn't even listen to me. We're supposed to be quiet there for them.
I can't be quiet. That's just a fact.
It's fair enough. Fair enough. That's another decent fire strike right out of the spawn gates. 14% for Grant. And okay, there we go. Makes much more sense. Beak on the right.
Oh! Woo! Nutty. Getting that damage boost in too. It was a clear kill right there.
Pavel's sick of seeing Chari on the kill feed, and he wants in on it. That's a great first pick there. It buys so much space. Double sniper on the attack though. Such a weird composition with the Ryan Zarya, especially with the Mercy Zen. Not a lot of heals for your tanks. They're just gonna have to survive off the raw instincts, and Beak will do it. Finds the kill into the enemy main tank. Chari will find the Widowmaker, but not gonna be enough to actually hold this objective. As Pavel just on an absolute rampage. Another one for Pavel.
That was a 5K, ladies and gentlemen.
Objective lost.
From Pavel, that was amazing. Well, technically speaking, it was a 4K right there, but they did get that early open pick, which would have made it the 5.
He has dragons. He has his dragon strike.
And Chari's only 35% on their dragon, so what a huge Hanzo diff right now coming out from One Last Freak.
That's just absolutely brutal. You know, I'm the kind of person who, I guess I would underrate how valuable a sonar is. Not sonar is, but how much a damage boosted Hanzo is, and oh, that's just upsetting to watch. Pichu's is going to fall to the Tracer there. Not finding a ton of value at Beak. Stuck
Probably
in the
going to see
corner.
a switch.
Yeah, we have to. Unless, no, they're just going to stay on it, and Pavel finds the kill into Grant, brings the Reinhardt down. The old German statue has been felled by the Hanzo.
Yeah, right now we're seeing that old support meta that we've been seeing recently with the Zen Mercy. High damage, low heals, but hey, you know what? If you're just W keying into the other team, that's the right composition to run when it comes to the support line versus the mobility of the Lucio and Bap.
That's a nice first pick. That's the Mercy out of the fight. The Tracer's in the back. Gonna try and find some value, but Pavel! Just, what? This is illegal!
Pavel just honestly dominating with this DPS Hanzo going on right now. But I must say that was a great block for the Shatter. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to save his whole team, but luckily due to the heal being fine, his Hanzo was out of range from the window.
That's going to be another kill for Pavel, putting on a master class of Hanzo play right now. Finds enemy main tank. It's going to be worst Overwatch player. I think it kills well, but boom, off on the side, tries to keep the defense alive, finds them free, but that's the Resurrect keeping that player in the fight. Now with the healing back from the Mercy to try and keep this Reinhardt alive, Beak is going to swing up a little bit, and that's the slams dropping. That's 3 hit with it. Colliero going to fall to that, and now 5 minutes in time bank.
Yeah. Not to mention, Grav did come out from, you know, the side of One Last Freaks, but they do have the trans up to stop Man's Grav coming up soon.
Yeah, and that's going to be a switch there from Boom onto this Ashe. Pebble takes quite a bit of pressure, but is going to try and find this elimination. There it is! Boom is going to fall with Pavel having mostly free reign now, just the Discord order to keep him contested. There's Sen and finding Grant. Now with the Moira and Zen on the defense, that's something I never want to see. If you know anything about me, that is something I hate more than anything. And we're going to capture with
Fourth win! Let's go!
There, yep, an interesting time bank. Is this drawable?
Yes, this is drawable.
Is it?
There's only one kind of map that's not drawable, and that's King of the Hill map. Okay.
Let me be.
I have seen some crazy things happen in my days in Trank, and this is drawable.
Let me be a little bit more specific then. What does Heatwave have to do in order to bring this back? In order to at least draw this?
Oh, first they got to shut down Pavel, because Pavel was just honest. I think Pavel only went down one time and was just constantly, well, doing what Hanzo needs to do, clicking heads left and right.
He was the anti-tracer.
Yeah, I think the other thing that they need to do is probably switch over the support line. The Baptiste Lucio just didn't seem like he was doing enough, even though it was a stronger heal bank, because you had Pavel on that Hanzo just picking people left and right. It might have been better just to focus more on offense, which we have seen on Hanamura is their strong suit.
Yeah, and this is a pick that's coming out for both sides. The Cyborg Ninjas out to play. Genji in the lobby. One team with the nano, one will not.
Yeah, but one thing also but you could get the damage boost, which can just be as valuable. And Boom on this Widow, probably switching over to the McCree, I'm gonna assume.
Yep.
Oh no, Metro!
They're doing the Simba! They're doing it! The Mad Lads! I said earlier, and they're doing it! There it is, the DP up. He's gonna get a ton of space here. Pichu, she's gonna try and contest the Bastion a little bit from this high ground perch that she's on. So much damage. That's gonna be Pavel on a little bit of an off angle. Tries to keep the contest alive, but so much damage being pumped out by Charlie. This is how you play the composition. You have to corral them, bring them to where you want them. They're not quite taking advantage of it as well as they should, though. With Grant falling, there's not a whole lot that Charlie can do up here. They're going to fall to Peachy. She gets that elimination, and now the defense will just continue on as normal.
Yeah, cheeky play. Charlie will switch over to that Hanzo, but, I mean, Beak already has Shatter online, where Grant's only at 44%, so even though they were able to get a tick, the ult economy is not looking favorable after that long engagement.
Yeah, and with the Reaper swap as well, like you said earlier, it's going to be a bit of a struggle to bring this ult econ back in their favor. against this Nano Slam that's coming in for the defense, and a Blade as well, you're in a world. That's a nice slam! Woo! Grant doesn't want to lose quite yet. Dragon Blade, Naked Blade, no Nano applied on the back, but it's a nice boop from Chubzilla. Sorry, there was Nano. I am just blind beyond belief. That's a great amount of heals, though. Man, brought perfectly up by Coliero. Great play there from Niana, and with Man finding that elimination, they're going to be able to hold on here for a little bit longer. But Connor gets pinned into the Transcendence and is going to try and fight for survival, but it will not be enough. It's Boom fights the elimination. Just the Reinhardt left, just going to be staggered.
Yeah, luckily they do not have to worry about a grab con online. So, and Chubb switching over to the Lucio, they do have they do have the beat drop coming on. But Connor does have a chance to build that Transcendence, but with Man being at 50% almost, I don't know if that stall was worth it.
Yeah, Peach is going to try and find some value with this Infrasight. Gets a little bit of scouting done. Oh, almost gets her head taken off by Chari. Doesn't quite land the headshot though. That's a bit of contest from Pavel. Gonna try and win that 1v1. A little close. The anti-nade. That's it. Pichu with the body shot. That's gonna be Chari with the headshot though. One is better than the other. With just a little bit of help healing needed, Peak can push on forward, and that's just the cleanup.
Yeah. Even though Chari did find Pichu, the fight was already lost due to that grab getting rid of the Reinhardt. So I would take that trade any day. Because Chari just fell immediately right afterwards.
Yep, they're gonna come in here though. They have the Nano Blade that when Con is available, I have to see how they quite pull this out. But there's a Nano Shatter available. It's the Nano Blade to the backline, but one combo stronger than the other. Oh no, it's not the Boostio. Oh no.
Red Shell is crying right now, seeing that Boostio not being able to pop off. F's in the chats, ladies and gentlemen. Think Chubchilla got a little ahead of themselves and unfortunately took that Nano from Grant.
I mean, positive, I guess. Chubchilla will have a little bit more ult charge than they would have normally, so that is a thing.
This is very true, but unfortunately the ult they needed it for is no longer in effect.
Yeah, they were gonna have this next grab 100% though. I think that is important to mention. Headshot taken there. There's a little bit of damage coming up from Chari. That's Boom with the first elimination. They try and find some value. That's a huge slam! Everybody's on the ground! Nobody missed! Nobody survives!
What an amazing six-man shatter from Beak. Beak, don't do it. Okay, good, good. When they stop like that, I'm always scared that they're going to start teabagging, but he didn't.
It's just the tall teabag. You don't go down, you go up.
But worst player, 94% on that grab now. So Chubchilla now almost having a beat, looking good.
Yeah, I mean this is what I said earlier. The Boostio, a bit of a meme, but that's the beat. They're actually use this aggressively to grab as well. In the Dragon Strike, a lot of ults invested just to get the Grab Dragon off, but there's the Transcendence. Connor! Oh, you poor boy.
You know, you gotta kill as much time, but they've killed a lot of time on that time bank. It is not going to be easy for Heatwave coming up on this third point, and there's still probably going to be at least one more gauge coming from the side of the last Freaks.
Yeah, but there's a lot of ults to prevent it from doing much. Nano is available, but the Blade is not. This High Noon Slam and Nano on the attacking side, they might be able to bring this back. Heatwave. There's the Noon. Gonna keep them back, break the shield. Just the Genji on point right now. Dragon Blade, or the Dragon Strike's gonna make some space, but the slam is massive. Pichu somehow finds Grant with the snipe of the Dragon Strike though. And with an out of position Boom, that's just gonna seal the defenses. Just
yeah, you have Nano Blade up for the next fight and no beat drop to save them. It's going to come down to a hopefully amazing sleep coming from Coliero just to stop this last push.
I knew it would be Coliero. I've been saying Soliero or Coliero this whole time, and it's felt wrong. It's just gonna have to be a big sleep, like you said, or a nice Nano to prevent this Nano from getting value. But they're gonna pop it right now. There's the first kill. They're gonna find a second. That's two already found. That's a third. They're gonna just chop them to bits. Everything falls to pound.
Oh my goodness! That was a 5K right there. That was a heck of a 5K. Oh, and guys, ladies and gentlemen, my favorite thing to see always is a Genji Nano Blade play of the game.
Here's a slight problem with that, though. Slight problem with it. What do they have now? Just the slam coming online versus a Dragon Strike and a Nano Boost. A little bit of a struggle to touch this. We're gonna have to see how they do it. That's a pin! Aggressive from Grant, but he's gonna get pinned away! He might not be able to touch it all. That's a slam, though. Gonna bring them back further, and that's the second, or the third map, I should say, accrued for One Last Freak.
Yeah, so now,
series.
2-1, One Last Freak. Honestly showing a dominant defense that we didn't get to see on that Hanamura. Oh my god. You'll love to see it if you're me, ladies and gentlemen, because I am a Genji Weeb fan. There's the 2. There's the 3. Here's the 4 and the 5. Where was that 6th person? Who took my boy 6K? My boy, I mean Genji, by the way.
Is that the Sparkle Overwatch that I just saw?
No, that looked more like Shadow 2K right there. Fair
enough. Whatever you want to say.
I'll need a comm check for that because if they are screaming, then it will be Sparkle.
What is that? What is the Korean word that Sparkle always screams again? I know it's like
I have no idea.
I wouldn't know. I'm sorry, I just wouldn't know. I don't watch many streamers, so
it's all good. But yeah, that was a huge map shown by One Last Freak. They showed us definitely a better defense coming here on Kings Row. Maybe it was just that Hanamura they hadn't practiced too much, and those sim strats coming from both teams were just so big play, so big brain. It was kind of like the ball hog torture that we saw on Nepal. Just they weren't ready for it.
Yeah, and I do want to mention next map type will be payload. The options here are going to be Havana, Route 66, and my favorite of the 3, Junkertown. But we're not going to that last one, unfortunately, are we?
No, we're going to go to my favorite of the 3 because for those of you who have been in Trank long enough, or at least have been since season 4, you know about the legendary back cap on point 1 of Havana. Which
disgusting.
I must say, HQC definitely remembers that one.
I am absolutely disgusted that you just said your favorite of the 3 is Havana. Between Route 66, Junkertown, and Havana, that's the one you like the most?
I'm just saying, I ended up on daily Overwatch because I fully backcapped the first point. We were literally getting holed in our spawn, and I went Reaper, and literally, I wasn't even like hiding behind the payload. No, Ty. I was standing on top of it. I let go of my mouse, I let go of my keyboard. I got the message saying I was going to be kicked for inactivity. That's how bad it was. So, yeah. But yeah, Havana is such a great map. Honestly, I think it's underrated. I really do.
I mean, considering how the series has gone so far, I think it'd be only fitting if this is the map that's drawn.
My paycheck will be hurting this week, but hey, you know what? If it's drawn, so be it. Boof, I'm sorry. Well, actually, no, it won't be. It won't be a sorry because if it is drawn, it will go to One Last Freak because now they do have it. So
never mind then. Hopefully it's not a draw.
Yeah, we would have to get those 2 draws, but you know. So right now, One Last Freak. So you help Trank or you help yourself. So personally speaking, for my wallet's sake, I'd say help Trank. I mean, help yourselves.
All right. So when it comes to compositions here, what's going on here?
Simple. They're going to full hold their point, their spawn.
I mean, we're getting a blast from the past here.
Hey, double snipers was working quite well for them on Kings Row.
Yeah,
and Ivana, first point, is no stranger to the Widow Hanzo.
But double sniper pulled pork is what I'm concerned about against the what is it? The rock and roll composition on the other side. That's interesting.
And Wild West meets the East.
I'm not even sure who's supposed to be who there, but you know,
Wild West is Ash and East is Hanzo.
You know,
Because I mean, Ash isn't really a sniper. She's kind of a sniper, but not full sniper.
yeah, not much anymore. I still think it qualifies, but just barely. This is an interesting place to
Oh my
hold.
goodness!
That's brutal.
That hook.
Immediately, Evangelion gets felled by the swine. Just a thorn in their side, but that's going to be the nice pick there from Beak onto Man, who's just got a little bit deleted there on the side, but it's a lot of focus fire onto Beak to try and kill the ball. That's a nice shot, though, from both Hanzos. Mercy down for the defense. And that's another the attack, I should say. They're actually pulling this back. 3 players were alive, and now it's just the hooves, as well as 1 Mercy and 1 Sniper, as Grant shreds the attacking team.
Yeah, with those changes Sarissa coming to, Grant's showing how powerful the lawnmower has become.
The battle cattle, as I like to call it. Oh no, Grant. He's gonna fall, but he already almost has a bongo.
Not to mention, he was able to stall long enough for his team to almost get a full regroup.
That's a nice hook. He barely is gonna survive that thanks to the adaptive shields there. Cole Arrow. I'm just gonna call him Cole from now on and hope it's correct. Finds another kill there. No. This attack will start to just push on forward. Gravitic Flux available here for worst Overwatch player.
That light pull ruined the acceleration.
Oh no! Boom! Boom's been blasted by the ball, Beak.
We do have a Flux Dragon online for one last free, so that's good. Whole Hog and Valk coming out too. Ooh, this is going to be not looking good.
Yeah, and we've got a lot of ults coming out for the defense, like you did say, but not like you did say. I guess I'm just kind of high. I guess there's a nice few picks here just to stabilize. Worst Overwatch player will find a kill, but not going to be enough to really help this attack much. Bongo out as well. Gonna just keep pushing this fight down, putting so much pressure down.
Yeah. Bongo might have been not necessary because the fight had already been won, but you did have Minefield and Dragon B on the use on the side. Ooh, what a great hook right there.
That is a big one right there. Worst Overwatch player not even going to be able to pull this Flux out. Without a Dragon Strike either, there's not much to combo with it, but as you do know, Gravitic Flux gets a ton of value no matter what. If you pump more ults into it, it gets value. If you don't, it gets value. If it's CC'd, it still gets some value because it's at least a cooldown gone.
Yeah,
So
we
hard to
do
let
have
that
pulls coming up from Boom, and there goes the Transcendence.
Oh, that's an interesting choice of Transcendence. Now they're not going to have that for the pulse bomb, but it did get a lot of tempo for them. It's a nice dynamite with the Gravitic Flux as well. Transcendence is going to keep them alive though. That is a decent one-to-one trade in ultimates. Going to try and find some value. Dragon Strike out. Going to help this defense quite a bit. He's going to find 1 kill there onto Pichu. She's going to fall there, but the Resurrect is going to bring her right back. Cole going to find the enemy Sigma, but not enough to just, bring this back to the defense right now. Oh, come to my dungeon, says Cole, as he takes out 2, but Evangelion finds that kill.
Yeah, honestly, the ult usage right now is just seem a little out of whack from both sides, but it's looking in favor of One Last Freak, just being able to do a lot more damage.
Chubzilla's going to fall. It's a nice dynamite over the shield. That's going to be a whole hug just to try and keep Sarissa alive, and it will succeed for the time being. Both tanks alive on the objective right now, but now they'll both fall. As the Resurrect onto Evangelion, going to take out most of the value that was accrued by the defense, and that's another kill there from Boom this time. Recall out just to try and keep this stall alive. Nobody else is going to be able to touch this, though.
Are you want to get your mech back, Worst? There we go. I think they were so happy that they got the damage boost on Baby Diva, which can be OP, as we've seen from Emon.
I just don't think he wanted to downgrade his hero, that's all.
True. That hitbox definitely changes.
It's not the hitbox, it's just the intimidation factor. You see them stay out of mech, what are you supposed to do about that? You don't know how to play against the Baby Diva. Do you?
I mean, you shoot her body, not her head.
Fair enough. I mean, that's a nice pick, though, from Boom. They're trying to bring some value back to this defense, get some space back, and with Beak falling as well, they're gonna, just hold the point a little bit. I think that this would have been a better attack if Worst Overwatch player stayed out of his mech, though. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, interesting switch from Boom to go over to the Widowmaker, especially with the 2 dive tanks coming in. But the bomb coming out might be enough to stop this push.
Yeah, there was so much damage being pumped to that Bob that he died, I think it was 2 or 3 seconds after he was sent out. Kills are still coming in though for the attack, but it's not going to be enough. Just going to be a little bit of a hold here. So see if they stagger. They do. Oh no, buddy. Buddy, go. Leave. Come on. What are you doing?
Yeah, there we go. It's interesting tactic there, worst player, trying to get them to kill you early by baiting them with the emote. But nah, Heatwave doesn't fall for the bait right there.
Yeah, I'm just a little curious as to see.
No one can hide from my
I gotta put my prediction in the poll. I forgot to do that earlier. Pichu gets the first kill of this fight. That's gonna be a nice little big one as Evangelion's gonna find the second. Boom, still alive. Maybe some pick potential there for the defense still. Valkyrie out as well. That's a huge hole hog in the corner. Both tanks are there, but oh, that's a bomb.
Yeah, hopefully trying to get that, because this fight hasn't been lost yet.
Evangelion!
Ooh, popping off.
Gets 2, the Widowmaker and the Mercy out of the fight, and then a third! The Ashe is absolutely on fire. Not just the Dynamites this time. There's just a ton of value there from the Ashe. They're going to actually cap with a minute and 13 maybe.
And another bomb! Jeez.
They keep on bobbing and they keep on bobbing. Nice coach gun! Perfect reaction speed! That's a huge...
Yeah.
Oh.
As I was trying to say, Worst may have dropped that bomb just to get the mech back, because that fight was not like over at all, and Evangelion just absolutely dominating with that Mercy damage boost on the Ashe, building a Bob immediately right after using it. Oh my goodness. And ladies and gentlemen, that is why the leader of the Deadlock gang is broken, because the fact that you can build a Bob within the time your Bob leaves the map.
Well, to be fair, if I remember correctly, Ashe requires, I think it's around 2,100 points in order to get her ultimate. For a point of reference, McCree is about 1,680, and Reinhardt is 1,480. So Ashe actually has a very high requirement to get an ultimate. It's just that she does so much with the dynamites, with the headshots, with the damage boost that it kind of just negates how high her ult charge is.
True.
Peace be upon you.
But I mean, I'm just gonna say right now though, they killed my Widow, dropping her to that 175 health, which now, even though Ashe had the damage drop off, that damage boost is still just enough to make her an even match for the Widowmaker if the duel's not too far.
Yeah, I was right almost. I was almost right with my guess on the ult cost. It's 2240 points. So, you know, humble brag.
Alright, we'll see this double sniper now come out for the side of Heatwave on the attack.
It's kind of still, you know, almost both on the double sniper. Boom, just kind of waiting, seeing if he wants to stay on this hero or maybe switch off. I'm gonna stick with it for now, but gonna see how it works out. Oh, that's a close one. Oh, 3 health!
Yeah,
that was close.
Right now, just trying to put the Escher on Evangelion with the Hanzo, hopefully allowing that Widow to find that pick, and it does.
Nice. That's a good start if you're the attack here. Even though the res is used, the res was still used. You don't have one, so it's good to get that trade out. Nice pull there from Grant to get some value, but Pichu, she's gonna get a kill. Boom, found off on the side. Beacon will just continue this rampage that the team's going on, and with just Grant alive, it's not gonna be much value.
Caster curse right there, say, you know, that res wasn't gonna matter, and then you say Evangelion doing the damage, taking 2 out themselves, and that double shield is just going to give that double sniping a lot of trouble. And now the Mercy has finally come back.
Yeah, I mean, not necessarily that it didn't matter, just, you know, don't twist my words, bub. Alright, so it's going to be a window soon from Chubzilla. Going to have to try and find some value with that, especially against this Dragon Strike that's available for the defense right now. And not just a Dragon Strike, as I now see. Nice bongo out. Going to amplify this damage by a fair bit, but boom! With the shot and another one! Boom finds 2, but Senin decides to take the sniping duties upon themselves with another ultimate use of the defense just to try and keep it alive. And that it will! 3 die to the Flux!
And ladies and gentlemen, that's why you run the horse. That bongo has been a god saver for them on one last freak.
Yeah, and I do want to say though, the defense only popped a single ultimate.
No one
Chubzilla
can
is the
hide
only one to have
from my
used it
sight.
versus the bongo and flux of the defense. So we're gonna have to see how that works out. And oh, goodbye, Boo.
Yeah.
It's just crumbles at this point.
And now you have Bongo coming up from Grant, but you do have Sinan with his Transcendence come up. So the question is, will Connor use the Valk to, you know, out damage or out heal the damage from the Bongo? Or will it be the Transcendence pop?
Well, I think we got our answer. It's just going to be the bongo to get the 6k, but, you know, it's going to help them cycle through their ults a little bit faster. They have the Dragon Strike now, like you said. They have the Transcendence now, like you said. Versus just a support ult on the other side. They need to farm up this Flux or Window in order to get it to be the difference maker here.
Yeah. Although this first point is very hard to cap. The second point will be, you know, the time grabber back. But the Ashe versus this Hanzo
That's the Dragon
hasn't really been going that great for them.
Nice pull from the defense there. Transcendence out, tries to find some value. The Valkyrie's out as well, but that's attacking Transcendence negates 2 ultimates at once. That's going to be Tori with the first elimination. The Ashe will fall. They're going to try and resurrect it, but too much pressure there from Man right now. He's going to win the Orisa duel. The Battle Cattle has found their superiority. There's the Dynamite kill. Boom has found 2 so far. Connor falls. And now with the window, they're going to try and win it out. They might need to pop the Big Flux, though, just to confirm it. The shield's almost dead, though, so he might have to wait a second or so. Peach at such low health, just at 2 or 3 HP. The Flux is out. It's going to find the Orisa with just the Rise. Now the Sigma super low. That's a second kill for Man here as they try to just push on forward. Storm Arrow's out, not going to find a ton of value. The Bob out as well. They're going to try to get the rest. Might be able to get it. No! Chari going to shut it down. They're going to flex to the defense. They're stalling out so long that they might actually be able to get back into it, but Man does not want that to happen. He's going to get another kill here. The Bungo available for the defense. We're going to have to see if they pop it. Or some of our players going to fall. With just 3 players alive left on the defense, Bongos is going to be sent out. The Dragon Strike is available. Pichu finds the Orisa. No! 3 people dead. It's going to be so tight if they can get back into this. It's going to be Cole right back in there, but it doesn't look like they will be. The full hold has been achieved, and that's going to be the
and with that,
victory.
yeah, the 3-1 victory for One Last Freak. Amazing plays coming from both sides there at the end. I think just the unfortunateness with both Sigma players. It seems like that lamppost just wants to be like a big, look, buddy, I'm here. Stop hitting me, because they both just seem to not.
Oh.
But that lift right there was a nice little play. Seems as the night went on, One Last Freak started to really pull back from when they were just over ulting to kind of getting that nice flow going, especially on Havana right there. They were able to, you know, end each round with either being up on the next set of ults or having them already. So I think that was the advantage that they had against Heatwave on Havana right there.
Yeah, and I gotta say though, who do you think deserves MVP for this series? I have one idea in mind in particular.
Oof, this is a tough one.
Mm-hmm. You think so?
Honestly, I'm probably gonna have to go Pavel.
Mm-hmm.
His DPS has just been tremendous throughout the entire night. He's showed us a, you know, wide range of characters he can play, and that Hanzo on King's Row was just unstoppable. I mean, that's why they were able to dominate so quickly on it. And honestly, One Last Freaks tonight, just in general, are going to be my whole MVP with that ball hog soldier torture coming out on the ball. I mean, just throwing us all for a loop.
So
it had
weird.
us tongue-tied.
It's so weird. It's just such a weird composition, but I have no choice but to agree with you on the MVP. I think Pavel sticks out on this team to me as a force in Transcendence right now. He is unstoppable. He was anti-tracer. He was anti-tanks. He was anti-sniper. He did everything for this team and more. His sonars were on point consistently. Every single time he storm arrowed, I felt like he got value. I don't think he wasted too many Dragon Strikes. Almost all of them got value. He did so much work in this series, and if I'm a Transcendence tier team, I'm not looking as much to see how to beat One Last Freaks, but how to beat this DPS line.
Yeah, it's a very strong DPS line, and like we've seen tonight, that DPS line is definitely that whole team is definitely strong on their attacks. It's the defense is where they were kind of falling short, at least on Havana. But once again, that is a 2 CP map. I tend to try not to judge that for both teams because sometimes you just and Havana's just not one that's played much. Typically speaking, when you have Temple of Anubis and that's the one everyone wants to run on, that's the one everyone wants to scrim on. That's what you're used to. Hanamura just has a different ult, and the sim strats on both teams were just outstanding. But that is going to do it for us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow night we have a Discord tier game going up and a beat drop as well after the game, and I don't know who it is. So Booth, if you can tell me real quick. No, not the beat drop. I'm talking about the match.
Is it Blizzard Bears versus Aphelion?
Yes.
Oh,
it is Blizzard Bears versus Aphelion. So please at 8:30 tomorrow tune into that match as well. Don't forget, guys, if you do host, you do get more points. So trying to save up for entering to win a nice T-shirt or hoodie or whatever you're trying to get. And watch that V drop, please. They're really good. You get to really learn about some of the teams here in the community. I'm Gizmo Charmander. I've been your analyst for night, along with my buddy Ty Muster on the play-by-play, and our awesome, amazing producer Booth. And we will see you next time.
Wait. Let me say real quick. We're mispronouncing it a second ago. I actually am a part of the Aphelion organization, so I'm really excited to see if my boys down there can do some work. But sorry to steal the ending from you there, but
hey, it's all good. All right, have a great night, Twitch.